Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1966 Brother Webster XL-500 vintage portable typewriter made in Japan. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top are the margins. You just push them down and move them like this. I'm going to set this left one around 2 or 3 and this right one around 75. There's a scale back here to tell you what space you're on, but that's about the length of a page. And there's a paper support arm that flips up from the back. There's a button back there that releases it. It's like a switchblade. And this is the paper bale that sits on top. It's got a scale on it too. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, get you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 1.5, or 2 spaces. Right now we have it on single, but if you want 1.5, you just flip this switch forward 1, it skips 1.5. One more, it skips 2. We're going to keep that on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line, switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side here. You just flip that all the way up. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. When you have it in the middle, it just prints no ink at all. It prints just a stencil for copying. When you have it on the bottom, it prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. So we're going to move that up so we print the bottom red portion. Beautiful typing machine. Brother still makes printing equipment, printers and ink and whatnot, and they made some of the best typewriters, portables that I've come across. These are more modern style than most vintage typewriters, but they really manufacture and engineer these to be really nice and affordable. They still are, you know, compared to other typewriters. Very nice machines. We're gonna move this ink to print the top portion to print black, and to pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right here. You just flip it back and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easy or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page or else it won't load correctly. We're going to flip that back in too. It just snaps right back in on the back. Shift on each side and the shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the right side. I'm not sure if I zoomed in on that font. I'll take a look at it anyway. Really nice looking font. This is a daily typer. If you are a daily typer, this is really good. It's fun and easy to use, so I really recommend the Brothers. And there's a lot of models kind of just like this that are available. They're pretty much all the same. So as far as quality goes, so that was the backspace. It's got a tab that sets 10 spaces instead of being manually set. It just skips automatically 10 spaces. You can't set custom tabs on this one. And like when you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that blocks you from typing, and you got to hit this button here. That's the margin release to allow you to get past that block, and you can type all the way to the end. That works good. Touch control to the left of that, high to low. The lower you are, the less you have to hit the keys. The higher you go, you got to hit the keys a little harder, but they respond much faster. I always like to keep it on low. Used to type it on a computer, so this hood pops off straight up. So if you have one of these, it just pops right up. It's got 2 of these little hooks that go right directly into these inserts. And a lot of times these inserts, because they're made of rubber, they rot and go bad and break. And I do have those in my shop if you need a set of these spacers. Otherwise, it just kind of sits in there kind of loose. These are the originals on this one, but I do have 3D printed spacers that are available in my shop. Same with the feet. The feet are made out of the same material, so they break. These ones are the originals, but if you're looking for replacements, check out my shop. All the brand new ribbons loaded on this left side, so it's pulling to the right, and if you want to switch that direction, the ribbon guide here, you just move that to the opposite direction. So in this case, we move it to the back to the right, and it'll start pulling counterclockwise to the left. If you move it down towards the front, it'll move clockwise to the right, and that's the direction we want it to go. And this just goes right back on from the top like that. This is your carriage lock. So you've got one carriage release on this model on the right side. And this is the carriage lock. If you flip this back, it'll lock the carriage right there in the middle for when it's in the case. And this one does have a case with it. Let's see. It's got this leather zip case. which is pretty cool, and it zips all the way up. A lot of these leather cases, the track breaks or the zipper breaks or something. That one's nice. It's got a full track and a zipper. So to unlock it, you just gotta push it back and it unlocks. Here's the buttons right underneath it. Your switchblade, paper support arm, really cool. And on the line space, if you move it all the way back to R, it'll disable the spacing when you turn the knob, so you can get to an exact spot on the page. When you put it back on one, it'll click. Each one of those clicks is a half a space on this model. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.